Okay, we have a forum post that actually contains some really interesting and important information regarding the future of legendaries in PokeMMO, regarding Darkrai, regarding a bunch of questions about the summoning orbs, etc., etc. So let's just go ahead and talk about those. So basically, someone said, "Hello, Rach. Like, I still have many doubts, and I'm looking for questions to be answered. Once the event is over, will it be possible to continue fighting Darkrai?" The Darkrai raid and obtain the clocks in the orbs, so the mystical watches in the summoning orbs for Darkrai. Rach's response to that is no. Number 2, will the summoning orb be for the event, or can it continue to be summoned after the event? You keep the orb forever, was their response. I understand that it's very powerful, but it would be great if I could use it in casual PvP, and you can use it in casual PvP, Darkrai, if you go over this. This is just expressing disappointment. What happens if my secondary character does not do the raid? Will he not be able to fight Darkrai after the event? Will he be left out of that content? If you don't beat it this year, you'll have to... It's very similar to Shaman. You'll have it next year. Now, that's all very interesting and very cool, and like answer some questions. The bigger thing, in my opinion, is Q coming over and saying, Dream Essence are a Halloween exclusive item. In response to, I understand, one last question. Regarding obtaining objects that modify your IVs or reset your waiting time to summon it, you can only do them on Halloween or waiting for next year, or hordes will certain drop them. Dream Essence are Halloween exclusive. So it's so strange to me. It seems like I kind of thought that maybe the Darkrai raid would be more permanent. It's in the instance info over here, but this almost implies it isn't, because you get the Dream Essence from defeating the hard mode Darkrai raid, but then maybe it would drop a different reward outside of the Halloween event. I'm not totally sure. We're still trying to obviously discover things. But the more important thing to me is that Q says Mystic Watches will become more common as raids / summonal legendaries are developed. So it seems to me, why would you use plural? Raids and summonable legendaries seems to be the future of PokeMMO, and they want to do this more and more and more. And once again, I think this is a pretty cool way. If you disagree, more power to you. You're not wrong for disagreeing with me. Personally, I think it's a very cool way to introduce Pokemon that would be too broken, that we wouldn't have otherwise. These Pokemon would not be able to be added to the game other than this workaround. And this kind of goes back to, I had a really interesting conversation with Frotz and people on a PokeMMO podcast talking about how I think, most legendaries are too broken for an MMO format. They're just unbalanced. They rule out the usage of other Pokemon way too much, right? And people always say, oh, well, why not just add them anyway and just ban them from PvE and ban them from PvP, right? And my argument was, if you do that, the people that want legendaries are still going to complain. And it's kind of exactly what's happening. I hate to do another like Patrouski, I told you so, but I feel like I predict so much about this game. I've played it a lot. I get a lot of things wrong. I do. And it's okay to be disappointed by not being able to own Darkrai permanently. Totally okay. But I do think, I kind of talked about this. I don't think people... The want for legendaries is a weird one. And I think it's okay that they don't make sense in this game. And I think people need to kind of accept that. Or just, I don't know, play a different game or whatever. But it's kind of funny to me. I feel like people are, once again, complaining about, now that we have access to legendaries, that a lot of people say, oh, just add them, ban them from PvP, ban them from PvE. I just want to be able to have it. And now now that we have it, but you can only have it for an hour, people always find a way, something to be upset about. But I don't know. I think it's tough. I think it's a cool way to do it. I think this makes sense on the positive. I think this is an interesting, unique way to work around the balance and to make it doable and to make it plausible. So I think it's a unique, cool change the developers probably put a lot of time into and a lot of thought into, and I'm hopeful for the future of Pokemon. I'm hopeful for the future of summonable legendaries. That's my thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video, like it. If you didn't enjoy it, dislike it. Subscribe to the channel. That's all I have to say. I'm excited to see what comes with this kind of content.